Hello, this is James Lopes with Rise Star Church, evening out the world in love. The name of this will be Greenfield, uh, concerning the Chastity Chase and little children that come around Rise Star Church. Now, first of all, the the only place you wouldn't have to worry about per se the uh, wrong kind of communications, the wrong and leading um, grooming process, you could say, uh, or just regular hellos and invitations and regular stranger without the danger part with the children for the chastity chase. So, and this really involves uh, any children that come around Rise Star Church that may be more social than others, and generally in this day and age, you want to kind of deter that thing, but not around Rise Star Church. They can be as social as they want. Um, they can ask as many questions as they want. It will always be referred to God and what they will in any other color other than green. Now, concerning the ones that are in spy, uh, working at the faux fourness, dealing with their coming to the veil of sexuality, uh, dealing with the learning the precautions to take with their um, their authority figures, with the police and their departments, and luring for this point for the children and their edification of love and learning how to deal with their sexuality. Coming to that veil, then by all means wear green. Um, and of course, goes with any color. If there's ones in spy and they're really kind of looking for a certain alluring aspect in dealing with their sexuality, uh, then uh, I will give them. I will take the image seriously in my job and helping them deal with these type of things, and so you can have good conversations with those children uh, before and after to conclude the danger, stranger danger, or um, on better ways to lure in their spy format so they can deal with their sexuality and coming to the veil. And even in some conversation, which I have plainly in the Rise Star Church constitutional writ determined how they would be real, they would be games. So I'm just going to play the image part, um, maybe like make it a little uh, depending on their perception, whether they understand that I actually work with the children for this aspect, this growing to their maturity, or they can look at me as the uh, the image of the predator that they're said according to their spy, program their perception of what they need to deal with. Um, I'm expert and efficient at these things. Now, although we are looking for the Queen of Age, and I'll get into further segments. That's just the Queen that takes control, and um, she's in the veil, coming to the veil, uh, ready to step it up and be Rise Star Church representative queen for our generation in this evening process. Um, Now, in that scenario, um, I am also the one that, because of conducive atmospheres or a hellbox format, let's say close proper doors, then there's not going to be much of a chase, just a image, checking them out and helping them deal with those sort of things. There's not going to be much conversation, except dependent upon their conversation, how real it is, how whether they realize that I'm co-spy with them, or eventual queen understanding the super spy aspect of it, which is all in the writ there, if it's a little hard to understand. But the reality of the situation is, within the circle of the green field around this main priest, I'm going to be dealing with this chastity chase, this Nora road, this luring aspect. This seems to be way less word involved. And the green group of the social atmospheres is more around before and after I leave at the moment, until the political confusion of all this is really taken care of. So but we do deal with unconditional love offerings also, which is obviously love, making love for perceptive judgment of others or themselves within themselves, or the conditional test that they may have, and according to faux forness of how they can help and what they either make predators or help people play hookup in the field, you could say. And of course, we're playing catch up, so that's definitely a lot above 12 at the moment, because of the way we organized problems and crime in society, and didn't deal with the solutions stated all in the writ, and the rehabilitation aspect. So so I would suggest, if you're dealing with just the teaching education of the coming to the veil of spy and their luring, so to deal with their sexuality, to refrain from sex, as a chastity chase goes according to this concept, then I would either get my attention and leave with me, or leave soon thereafter. And I'm not going to waste any time. I go in, either queen, I'm going to determine real fast whether or not there is a face, or whatever I need to do for the children in that sphere that I'm in. And then I'm leaving. So, as expressed, the third party, keeping the door open for, which is second in the order, above the offerers of the offerings, can help educate in why the offerings, why the chase is opposite this way, that they needed to come to me, if they were truly there for or understood the unconditional love offerings. And I would leave as soon thereafter, if you're still working really on the coming to the veil and the chastity chase portion with the children, if you bring them and they're in green, because the door that we're leaving open is until the queen comes and takes charge, and the hell box makes a heaven. There is the chase and the words that people would construe as leading a child, or grooming, would be considered legal in that situation concerning the Rise Star Church aspect. And especially since some of the, according to Chastity Chase, they have proclaimed me as the the king, and they're bringing the queen, and if I pick her, that is the case scenario. But of course, they know that I'm not going to pick because it's according to the legal definitions of the picture that we have to, the political aspect of what we have to paint the picture for in legality. So it's not a free for all everywhere in the United States anyway, but it's it's the child queen picking their king. But with this door open, um, the chase that they wanted, the people bringing up the subject about love, which includes the physical forms, and the ones that give them the option to do an unconditional love offering can be any third party at the moment, second in order when I walk out or while I'm there, and or um, the third in order, which would be just the ones bringing the offering. Now that is within a half an hour, 500 feet. So you may have some teaching and the eye openers to the blind, you could say, if they were only coming for faux forness. Now, I would suggest if you were a parent and the aspect was to work out their fear uh, in salvation and do a little education on the defense needed in, to learn not to be manipulated by games and things like that. I would suggest if you leave right after I, when they're in green, then I would at least leave in a slow pace to where some third parties could come up also and try talking to them, because I'm probably most likely going to give some looks, maybe a little conversation, maybe a little look according to their the sexuality that they're trying to show to me, and you'll have plenty of education on, you see how they look, this and that, and they can be anybody, and however the teaching is going to go best for you to deal with that fear in the child and learning how to trust in the system and learning the games and such. But you'll have even more of a conviction aspect with a third party coming up there after while you're getting in a car. And like I said, it's half an hour within 500 feet of the walking distance of the area. So um, you have plenty of time. You say, oh, look, see, he must have had some friends there and stuff. They could be anywhere. You can kind of work out this kind of teaching to help the child through into the veil process. Um, Now, on the other hand, really for um, those as offerings or those third party that I'm calling in as much as I can while I keep the legality of things. We already have third party congregations according to the eliteness of things, the whole politicians hiding the sexually active children of America, the some of the churches and things like that. Well, it's not really going to be Vegas and with children everywhere in the United States. So they're already working on making sure that if they are sexually active, it is only around where I start church. So thus a public well, and that's where it's going to be. So the the aspect is to be that second in order instead of the people bringing them for themselves, really, which has happened for the last 8 years anyway. So at least until the queen arrives, then it could be a little bit more, instead of one at a time, more love according to every page on the websites, and according to the writ, more socializing instead of just kind of rings of how it's going on at the moment. So, but definitely in the past it was leave the kids alone. But when it's in green now, and now that we're getting all the sexually active kids of America and they're coming for their offerings and such, then if they aren't one that leaves with me or leaves right after me, and like I said, approach. It helps with working out the fear thing and the teaching that they're going to do, because they'll just take off. But the other ones, well, they may be, that are still there, they may be in the blind format, but they are in the veil, or they are, um, they're there for uh, love and what you can teach them, uh, what you can tell them about how it's possible that they can be chased, that they uh, can have love in one spot because the main priest, and, and looking out for the queen and such. Um, they uh, and of course this really goes down to the old government program of how they, and you'll see in the push, according to the Rise Star Constitutional Writ, how it's explained, how the words were presented to kind of haremize these girls, and to kind of split off to where anybody that came to them, they could put in the suffering business that can't be done around Rise Star Church, and or they could choose to have sexual activity. So we put in the very important words. You know, you can chase, you can talk to them about love. Uh, you can start talking to them about the sex part of love. You can help them understand that this is an offering that's decided within a half an hour, 500 feet of where you're at. Um, you didn't chase the main priest. You didn't go to the main priest to determine the public well is here to stay, so he had to go. But that you are a secondary priest, and that this is your chance to do according to how these girls have been trained to do it anyway, but um, they don't have to worry about destroying people's lives, according to how uh, the old politics of things would align for suffering if there wasn't enough word and such. But um, no, simple two-letter word, no. I would mention Rise Star Church offering. Um, you After you explain how the offering works, if it goes, if there is conversation involved, then, or if there isn't, then at least say, okay, well, this is, um, I'm allowed to do push according to the offering because of the color green, um, until you say no. And it really has to be the child, because some of them are blind, set up with other old world, blinded also to the faux suffering business as they're lured. Um, Even in some cases, people have had to tell them to go call your church, arranged, or call your organization. Somebody, an organization, arranged you with this child to pretend to be the child's mother or father, and in a playing game of luring sex crimes, but really it's just for the child. Now this is a conditional love offering. This is catch up. This is not for luring. This is giving them a chance at that time, if they are sexually active, to experience love in the fullest according to their will. Um, so the no does not depend on the people around. It depends on the temple of that whatever girl in green of any age. Uh, so, um, and then of course the regular um, love offerings. So uh, this explains the chastity chase. I want to make it clear that it's uh, very safe for ones that aren't dealing with sexuality at all. They just want to talk to people uh, in any color clothing other than green. The ones dealing with stuff um, wearing green, um, they can still deal with all those aspects of learning and coming to the veil and getting confident with being secure uh, with who they're with, and dealing with their sexuality, and dealing, learning eventually that we're not looking for enemies and Americans. You're just really dealing with the child's only dealing with their issues. It until they understand how to help people around them in whatever way that they can, word or love. Um, and But of course, like I said, pretty soon thereafter, it's not the queen. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm creating wells of opportunity and opportunities for the starting to put on the internet what cities we're going to, and I'll be going in and out of businesses and seeing the offerings are there, uh, and and then leaving. So me and the well are the same. Of course, I want the queen, but at the same time, uh, freedom and love is definitely more important. So uh, do the and of course the sexually active children or those coming to the veil are going to be there too. So third party, if that was kind of your concerns, you would find love, give love to a child that that is in a safe environment. That's where it is. Uh, you can talk as much as you want leading to it, or it might be the government set up ones where they're just not going to say anything. But the beautiful thing is they don't say no, so the offering means go. So uh, uh, thank you, Lord God Almighty, for this, and spread the word of where freedom of love is, and the green field of everywhere in the world. Um, Except just a little different with the unconditional love offerings or sin offerings around Rise Star Church. And before I get to those towns and those businesses, start going around talking to people, use it as a regular green field until I come, and then the freedom according to the talk and action of full physical love as a possibility according to the will of the person and whether they say no or not. Just tell them they can, but hold on a second and let me help with the education, because the sooner we get through all this bondage and manipulation of things, except in a righteous fashion with one coming to the veil, uh, the sooner that we can help with the other problems that would be outside of Rise Star Church throughout our society. God bless.